Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Amrita's Code World. Today I'm going to discuss about a very important topic, and that is flow of control. Till now I have spoken about the basic concepts of Python programming language, that is tokens, data types, variables. As we know that to learn any programming language or any communication language, first we'll have to learn the basics. Like we'll have to learn the alphabets. Using those alphabets, you can form a word, and then using those words, you can form a sentence. So whatever we have learned so far, we can just form simple programs. We can write very small programs. But now today's topic is very important, and that is a fundamental aspect of computer programming, critical to creating any scripts which perform logic-based calculations for you. And that is an important component if you want to become fluent in Python. So I have divided this topic into 3 videos. Today, in this video, I'm going to speak about the if-else statements, and you'll have to watch till the end. And yes, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, Amrita's Code World, please do subscribe. Click on the bell icon for further notification. And yes, if you like my channel, please do like it. So let us start. So today's lecture, I'm going to start with the different types of statements we have in Python. First of all, we have a statement that we call it as empty statement. Empty statement means which does nothing. So it is implemented by the keyword pass. So whenever Python encounters the statement pass or the keyword pass, so that time it does nothing. Second is that we have simple statement. Simple statement means that any single executable statement is known as simple statement. Any single executable statement. Say for example, we can show it like this. Say for example, I write age equal, I write input, okay, enter the age. So now it's asking for the age. So any single statement. Now if I say write print age, so I just want to print. So any single executable statement is known as simple statement. Next is we have compound statement. Compound statement represents a group of statements executed as a unit. So we are going to discuss about the flow of control, conditional statements, and looping statements. So compound statement we use in case of conditional statements and looping statements. So we will see in our subsequent slides that what do we exactly mean by compound statement. But before that, I would like to start with our topic, flow of control. Flow of control means that how the flow of program executes in Python. So there are 3 types of flow of controls. One is sequence, means that the program gets executed, the instructions get executed one after the another, line by line. Second is that we have selection flow of control. The program executes on the basis of certain condition. Once the condition is satisfied, then some set of instructions get executed. And if not, then maybe some other sets of instructions get executed. Third is that iteration. So if we want to repeat certain set of statements for a certain number of times, then we use iteration. So now we will discuss in detail about mainly the selection flow of control and iteration flow of control. Sequence you have already done, because so far whatever programs we have done in our videos, we have seen little small programs we have executed, and we have seen the sequence flow of control where the instructions are being executed line by line. Next, we need to understand about the control statements. We have control statements in Python programming. Control statements are used to control the flow of execution depending upon some specified condition or logic. So it controls the flow of execution depending on certain condition or maybe the logic. What do we exactly mean by that? There are three types of control statements. Decision-making statements, which is implemented with the help of if and else keyword. Then we have next iteration statements, which we call it as loop, and which is implemented by while loop and for loop in Python. In certain programming languages, we have the concept of do while also, but in Python, we have while loop and for loop. Then we have jump statements, which we implement with the help of three keywords. Those are break, continue, and pass. Now, let us see what do we mean by decision-making statements. Decision-making statements used to control the flow of execution of program depending upon the condition. What do we mean by that? These decision-making statements are also known as control statements, which can be implemented in three ways. One is that if statements. Second is that if-else statements. And then we can also use nested if-else statement. So we will see one by one that what is if-else, and what is nested if-else statement. First of all, we are talking about the first one, that is if statement, when we use only if statement. An if statement is a conditional statement that, if proved true, performs a function or display information. What do we mean by that? Look at this flow chart. We start with the program. We have the if condition, if it is true. So if code gets executed, some set of statements will be executed. If the condition is false, then it will go to the end of the program. So that means nothing will happen. It will just go to the end of the program. So let us see with some Python example. Say, for example, we enter a number. Say, for example, num equal, I write int. As you all know that if you want to convert the input to integer, we have to use the int function. So I write enter the number. Okay. So it asking for some number, say for example 45. So now if I write if num greater than equals 0, if it is greater than equals 0. So now see, I use a compound statement. So num greater than equals 0. After that, it should be followed by colon. So that is a part of syntax. Now it should be indented. Okay. So then I write print the number is 0 or positive. Okay. So now what should be the output? The number is 0 or positive, because the number which I have entered 45, that is positive number. So now if I just change the input, so I have used only the if statement. So here the condition is true because 45 is greater than equals 0. So it is printing the number is 0 or positive. So it is executing the body of if. Now, if I change the number, so say for example, now I don't enter any positive number, I enter some negative number, minus 78, I enter. Now, if I use the same thing, if this, then I write, say for example, this. So see, nothing happens. Why? Because in this case, minus 78 I have entered, which is not greater than equal 0. So that is a negative number. So since the condition is false, so nothing happened. So it did not execute the body of if. So I hope now the understanding is clear. Now, second type of decision making statement, see here, if statements. We can see the syntax here. We have already used just now. If the condition is true, then the one statement or multiple statements can be executed. Now see here, if I would like to execute multiple statements here, so what I can do, say for example, I enter some number, I just again copy this. Okay, so for example, the number is 56. Now I give some condition. If num is even number, so num modulo 2 equal 0. So I give the condition that if num is divisible by 2, that is equal 0, then I would like to print the number is even number. The number is even number, and also I would like to print, that means multiple statements I'm including here under the if block. So I would like to write, say for example, end of if. End of if. So what will happen? See, two lines get executed. So there can be one statement or multiple statements inside the body of if. So that's what here it's in the syntax. You can see that one statement or multiple statements can be written inside the if block. Now another variations of if statement, see, using logical operator in if statement, like say for example, x is a variable which is equal to 1, y is a variable which is assigned 2, and see here now the AND logical operator is used if x equal 1 and y equal 2, then print condition matching the criteria. So in this case, if both the conditions are satisfied with the help of logical operator AND, then the body of if, that is condition matching the criteria, will be executed. So I hope this idea is clear about if statement, because this is very important aspect, the decision making statement, how to use it, where to use it, it's very important. Next we have the second variations of decision making statement, that is if else statements. If else statement executes some code if the test expression is true, and some other sets of code if the expression is false. Test expression is false. So like we can see in the flow chart, see, if the condition is true, then body of if will be executed. If the condition is false, then body of else will be executed. Now we can see the syntax of the if else statements. We can see here if the condition is true, then statements which are under the if condition, that will be executed. If the condition is false, then the statements which are under else, that is the body of else, will be executed. We can see with the help of example. Say for example, I am just writing a small program like this. Say for example, marks equal, say for example, int input, enter the marks. Okay, so then I'm writing just below marks. If marks greater than equal, marks greater than equal 80. So I write that print excellent. These are very, simple examples I'm giving. Now here I'll have to write else just below if. So as you know that in Python, indentation matters a lot. So you'll have to indent properly. Excellent. That should be within double quotes because it's string. So I have written here average. Okay. So now I just save these programs. So I'm using here script mode for writing the program. So I just save the program, say for example, marks 80. Okay, I just save the file and then I just run module. Now see here, enter the marks. So I just enter the marks, say for example, 80. Now see, it's showing me excellent. Now say for example, if I run the program again and I don't enter 80, I just write below 80. So it's printing average. So now you can see here that since the condition marks greater than 80 is not satisfied, so it executed the body of else. There can be one statement or there can be multiple statements here. Okay, so as you can see here, so this is if-else statements. I just explained you with the help of very simple program. Next, the third type of decision-making statement, that is nested if-else statements. The nested if-else statement allows you to check for multiple test expressions and execute different codes for more than 2 conditions, like this. So see, you'll have to understand it very carefully. Say example, the condition 1. If the condition 1 is true, then it is going to execute condition 2. And in condition 2, also it can execute multiple statements here. If test condition 1 is false, then maybe it will execute statement 3. So as you can see, nested if-else means one if-else within another if-else. So we can see that too also, the syntax. So what is nested if-else? See the syntax. If condition is true, then body of if will be executed. Otherwise, elif, that is else if. In some of the programming language, we denote it as else if, but in Python, we denote it as elif keyword. And then, so like this, there are no restrictions that how many if-else can be there. So you can see the second condition can be given with the help of elif, and the last if all these if-elif conditions are not true, so then it will go to the end of the if-else ladder and it will execute the last else statements. So let us see that how it can be done. Here I will just use the script mode for you. So here I'm just writing a program. Say for example, that marks, that's an example I'm giving. So int, okay, input, enter the marks. Okay, fine. Now I'm giving condition if marks greater than equal 80. So I would like to give maybe print grade A. Okay, I just want to, print grade A. Now next I'm giving here condition, I am using elif. So I can give condition only with if, so that means else if. So now I'll be using marks, say for example, greater than equal 70. and I'm using logical operator and marks less than 80. So I can print, I'll just copy it. See the indentation. The body of if statement should be indented. So I write here grade B. Okay, like this, I can have if else ladder like this. I'm just printing, I'm just copying this. One more elif I'll be using. Say, for example, now I'm using if it is greater than equal 60 and less than 50, I would like to use grade C. Grade C. Now, I don't want to give any more condition. If the marks is below, and marks less than 50, then else if the marks is not matching with any other marks, so I would like to print greater than equal 70 and 80, okay, 60. Okay, I would like to change it here. This should be not 50, this should be 70, because that only makes sense. Else I would like to print grade D. Okay, so I just save this program as marks grade. Okay, I just give a name, save the program, then I run module. I just execute the program. Okay, here, here I should not use any quotes here. Just by mistake, it got copied. So I just execute it. Okay, what will have to give it here? Colon. Yes, because that demands after if, after elif, after else, we'll have to give colon. So now there is no error. So enter the marks. Say, for example, I enter 56. So now it's giving me grade D. Why? Because it is below 60. Okay. So like this way, we can use the conditional statements, and there are 3 different types of decision making statements you have learned today. Using only if statement, second is if else statement, or otherwise nested if else statement. So hope the idea of the first type, that is how we can implement with the help of conditional statements, it's clear to you. Okay, thank you friends. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel Amrita's World. Click on the bell icon for further notification, and also if you like my channel, please do like it. Thank you.